Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the news. We're your hosts. I am Dean. This is Fernando. And today we're going to talk to you about all the cool things that are happening in the 12-volt community. But before we do that, as always, weather. Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the news. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Nice of you to make it.
Yeah, I mean, I try. You
try.
Yes.
For those who don't know, we steal the news. Oh, hold on. Dang, I'm so excited. For those who don't know, we steal the news from our good friends at CE Outlook. If you'd like to know more about the stories that we're about ready to drop on you, head over to ceoutlook.com or just click the links in the description as always.
Just like Fang did before.
And you can learn more about what is happening in the world of 12 volt and form your own opinions and all that other fun stuff.
But tell us where you are and what's the weather. Right now here is 63.
Yeah.
The high is gonna be 68.
That's why I have a hoodie on.
Yeah. And you gotta enjoy it sometimes.
I am. I'm enjoying wearing a hoodie. I like wearing a hoodie.
That's true.
It's very comfy.
Yeah.
Springfield checking in currently 37 with a high of 49. There you go.
Yes.
Morning, Northern Indiana checking in 28 with a high of 45. Good morning, 34 with a high of 42. Partly cloudy in Texas. Had some snow flurries last night. Ooh. Yeah, Danny posted a picture and he had snow on his car. Swizzle Stick says 44 sunny with a high of 79. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, there, Phoenix. I cheated. I glanced to see Outlook website for a few minutes. It happens.
No cheating.
Arizona doesn't do the chime saying, so I have plenty of time to get to work. Yes, they don't. It kind of just, as it makes it worse, because like changing time zones is always fun. Good morning from Athens, Georgia, 40 and sunny, high of 54. I don't like the cold.
Yeah.
I'll live in Athens. Good morning. 37 in North Carolina with a high of 47 today. What do you guys think of the next generation MTX Thunder Series amps? Reminds me of Tesla. Honestly, I haven't seen them. I didn't see them. Did you see them?
No, I didn't even see that was MTX.
I didn't see any CE Outlook stuff.
No.
So there's a chance. We'll probably get to it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But a bit nipply this morning. Orlando, 57 with a high of 67. Dean is wearing a hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
5-star news is
what's that, Justin?
Good news. 28 degrees in northern Colorado. Mr. Bradley, good morning, guys. 56 and cloudy in Modesto with a high of 64. Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
That's nice.
Pretty cool.
It's like I almost want to fly out there just to experience
the weather.
Yeah, because all we got was 114. Good morning from San Diego. Houston, Texas is 51 with a high of 74. OKC is chilly. Good morning. 41. Looking for 51 in South Carolina. Cargift checking in from the other side of the planet. Mr. Vera is up.
What's up?
What's up? Ada says stupid snow. No S2000s this year. Oh
man.
Don't experience that problem. Anyways. Bobby says currently 50 with a high of 72 here in California. Oh, speaking of news and Bobby, guess what showed up last night?
I don't know.
The kicker order.
Oh.
Yeah, so we have the 7 channel.
Very nice. Very nice.
64 in Cloudy, 51 in Destin. The new Thunder amps look like the audio control amps. Oh, I'm going to have to look them up after the show. On their Facebook and Instagram page. Oh, okay. That's why. Hey, good morning, everyone. And hey, we got a bunch of news for you today. There has been some interesting stuff that has happened in the world of car audio and audio in general. We're going to take a look at them. Keep in mind the stories we're about ready to drop onto you. I'm not always interested in the story itself. Some of the times it's a question that it poses. So, for example, let's head over to here. Wrong button. Pretend like I know how to do this. It has been a couple weeks. Soundstream motorcycle radio upgrade for Maestro. I know how y'all feel about motorcycles, but this is kind of neat because, hold on. This is a third-party company
Yeah.
that does body control modules for Harley Davidsons, and they've been working on integrating the aftermarket body control modules with the iData interface so that all the body control features can report to the iData interface. So you conveniently pull it up. So you get like ambient air temperature, battery, engine, front spark advance, all these cool features, RPM, throttle position, twist grip, all the things that I have no idea what they mean in the world of motorcycles, but apparently are very important. Another thing that we saw when we reported the news a couple weeks ago was that there's an RGB light company that Voss, I always say it wrong, is made an iPhone app, and that is now controllable through CarPlay. You can control your lights via the touchscreen on the radio, which I feel is like a backdoor into adding app control for functionality into a radio. I think these two things are fantastic. Instead of going to like SoundStream and getting them to try to figure it out, which will never happen because they don't have the budget, you work with somebody like iData, or you just make it an app that's controllable through the App Store via CarPlay. And that adds a whole new realm of excitement to functionality that we might not get from the radio manufacturer.
Yeah, for sure.
Snowing.
Oh. I'm sorry.
But hey, that's why you live there, right? You get the seasons, you get the weather. We get none of that. We just got
seasoning.
We just get dry, and then we get wet again. Anyways, I think this is. Yeah. I think what this poses is really neat. And there again, the conversation I was just saying, well, radios are dead. They're not dead. They're not dead. That's a whole nother conversation we can't have right now. But the point is I think things like this through Maestro, through CarPlay, we have the opportunity, if people are willing and creative enough, to add functionality and even into a factory radio, which, if you think about it, like if we can come out with accessories that can be CarPlay controlled, we can add functionality directly into a factory radio. That's really cool.
For sure.
So I think if some of the people are allowed to be creative, we could come up with some really neat stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm not holding my breath, of course. I'm just posing
that will be
the question.
Cool, for sure.
And for those of you that are car stereo junkies, CompuStar shows radio with built-in Maestro. We briefly talked about this on our recap show, how CompuStar has finally finished one of their skunkwork projects, which is basically building a radio with an iData interface in it that isn't one of the big five, to try to compete with the big five. It's an exciting thing, I guess. There was a lot of positive. I'm the doom new. I thought it looked cheap. I just thought it looked cheap. There again, no price was given, so the cheap tag might actually be part of it.
Well, keep in mind, this is, beta.
No, it's not beta. It's not beta. Well, this is a gold master. This is something that is ready to go. This is what it's going to look like. These are all the bells and whistles.
Okay.
So beta was 3 years ago when we found out about it. Okay, that's beta. That's just vaporware, fun stuff like that. This is a finished product. So I just, if you're putting that many years into something, I look at something like an Elevate that took a couple years to come out, or a High 10, and go, yeah, this is none of those. But there again, I will.
So you don't think the Elevate looks cheap?
The Elevate was unique at its time. There was nothing like it. It was a unique shape. The operating system in it was unique and different.
So, for example, like the Kenwood,
listen, it's okay.
It looks cheap.
Which Kenwood?
The one that we just put in last week.
It wasn't a Kenwood.
And the Jeep.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
And your friend's car.
Yeah, no, that didn't look cheap.
That looks cheap.
4710 does not look cheap.
Okay.
No, I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's actually a really well thought out radio that has a tried and true back end system to it. The previous version of it.
You see the back end this?
No, this looks boring. This looks like some 1990s gooey, crappy interface that, with boxes and squares. There's no graphics to it. It's just
graphics
plain.
Are dead, bro.
Graphics are not dead. I mean, literally, graphics are not. When you start up a new car, it literally like lights up the dash with a movie and animation, and it there again.
Okay.
I still feel this looks cheap. I still feel like if there again, if this is going to come out and be inexpensive and whatnot, great. Then it'll serve its purpose. To me,
What are you looking for?
Listen, I'm looking for a simple thing. Whereas if I'm going to put a radio in somebody's car, I'm going to upgrade them to a more modern piece of equipment. I want it to look like a more modern piece of equipment. If the customer is only worried about spending $300 on a radio, great, cool. This might be their piece. But I feel that when people come in and want to buy, want to upgrade, want to do something better, they're looking for an improvement over the generic factory radio that's in there. They want some bells and whistles. They've decided to keep their car. They want it to not look cheap, okay? Because there's two people that buy it. There's the people that buy it because they have to have it because their factory broke, and there's people that buy it because they want something better than what they have.
Yeah.
This fits the first one, which is I have to have it because my factory radio broke. I don't feel that's the big part of the industry. I feel most people are looking to upgrade their radios because they want something better than what is in there. Okay. So if you're not going to deliver, like nobody's taking, so basically I could put this in a Ford with an MFT1 kit. The factory Ford radio is more impressive than this. Okay. So to me, that's all right.
The capability that you're going to have
is nothing more. No, this is not anything more because basic graphics, they're not doing anything.
About the graphics.
No, I'm not, because it's two customers. I'm not old, you're stupid in this regard.
I don't care about graphics.
There's two. Yeah, but if you're replacing a factory radio,
how many people came into the store and say, "Hey man, listen, I want to change my radio because I want graphics."
I had a guy last week that wouldn't buy a radio because the buttons didn't line up orange. Okay, so give me a break.
How old he was? 20? 30?
No, he was in his 50s.
Exactly.
But there again, listen, if a kid is replacing his radio because it's broken, this is fine. But most people are looking to upgrade. Yeah. Factory radios look like crap. If I'm replacing it with a radio that looks like crap, there's no point. There's no point.
Yeah.
And there again, we can disagree on this, and that's fine. But I think my personal opinion is I feel this radio looks cheap. And if it comes in at a cheap price point, well, that explains it. But if you're going to make something that is better than factory, make it better than factory. Put a graphics package on it that doesn't look like crap. We've sat in plenty of brand new cars and gone, wow, this is nice. Okay. I don't want to downgrade a customer. That's all. That's all I'm saying. We'll move on to the next story, which is dash cam sales bounce after TikTok video.
Yeah. Have you seen that video?
Oh, I've seen this. This is great.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's fantastic.
Dude, they've dissected this more than I think they did the JFK assassination. Like, these guys are screwed. I mean, because the driver gets out of the car and gets picked up by a chase car.
It's like 4 people, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but there's like 4 people, 3 people in the car, and they looking for a payday, right?
Oh, yeah.
And when they realize that this is being recorded by the dash cam, they just like, holy shit. But this is why you add in a dash cam,
Yeah, for sure.
So
I just think it's crazy.
I think the impressive thing, that was the video.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because if you wouldn't have a dash cam and you tell the story about
this would make
a police,
no
like
sense.
This guy just went in front of me and then stopped and back. The police will be like, there's no way.
You would have never even known, like, that the driver left, because that happened so like on the sneak.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess that's the moral of the story is
pick up your dash cams.
Pick up your dash cam. Thinkwarestore.com.
And the dash cams, yes, exactly. And the sales increase on the dash cams after this.
Well, I mean, we just put Haley's in and look we already got
crazy.
I feel like it was fishing. You know?
And we lost the video footage when we went to Alabama, but remember the guy in the trailer that he was just like back and forth.
Format your cards, guys. Format the cards when you put them into the cameras. Yeah. It could be catastrophic. Bose to buy Macintosh. At this point, Bose has bought Macintosh, I believe.
Probably.
It's more of a, hey, of course, it's a 12-volt news, so the article is more slanted towards the 12-volt side of it. Bose, And it's almost comical because like Bose is looking, to get into higher end audio in cars, which Bose has actually been the highest end audio in cars for years now, or at least it's been perceived that way. There's 2 Chryslers that have Macintosh systems in them that are built by Alpine and say Macintosh on them. And I don't think anyone had, I think the press was more impressive about it than the consumers that own them are. They feel they sound just as crappy as anything else. The call for an interface to interface into that system is, of course, it's unique.
Yeah.
So it's been delayed and it's coming. But I as far as the 12-volt side of this goes, I really don't. Okay. So I was thinking about it last night. So we know that General Motors, GMC, hates Bose, but they have to use Bose because Chevy uses Bose. So this might be great for them in that you could see a GMC being the bigger
upgrade
to a
Macintosh
system.
The funny part about this is in the article they said now we know the Macintosh it's been working with high-end cars like the Wagoneer. And I'm like, that's not true, because that was not a Macintosh system.
No, it was an Alpine system.
It was an Alpine system.
But they paid someone to do it.
All right. That's not Macintosh system.
Yeah.
So
no, I get what you're saying.
I was like, okay, cool. But hey,
yeah, no, and this of course is the question. Will this make Bose better or Macintosh worse?
Well, in the article
that's always
say
the question.
They're gonna stay
in their lanes.
They're just gonna help each other out. It's not like,
Well, we always know that they say that they always say that in the beginning. Right.
Well, and that's what they say in the article.
I know.
Everybody's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're just going to share technologies and we're going to do all this fun and excitement. And it's like.
Also, they say because, they want to improve on the electrical cars. More quiet. Yeah,
they want to use their Bose sound.
The ANC.
His life sucks enough.
Yeah.
Both Ad is positive today. Ad is in a positive mood as always. They both
be trash.
Yeah, I don't think so. This is not the first time that Macintosh has been bought, and Macintosh has been owned by Clarion before. Right now, Macintosh was owned by a holding company. I think from the home side is really where this is going. I think Bose has been slipping in the home side for years, and I think the Macintosh will help get some more money out of that.
What is the brand? The Porsche
Burmeister.
Well,
there again, and I think that's probably part of the problem is that some of these higher end vehicles like Mercedes have switched over to that as opposed to Bose, because everyone was Bose.
Yeah.
So I think now
what I'm saying with this type of inquirement that they get, that they will open. The market for like high-end, like big Mercedes, Cadillacs, and
they're definitely going after Burmeister,
Lambos, and Rolls Royce. They're like, hey, we have the Macintosh of big audio, so you can get it.
Yeah, I think that's. I
don't think we're gonna have a Honda Civic with the
Macintosh system. No, I think you're gonna see them go head to head against Burmeister. I think
that's what I'm saying. I think 100%. That's the idea.
Yeah, no, you're right. I would agree 100%. And this will allow them to do that because let's be honest, most of the people that drive those cars, if they have home audio that isn't just a Sonos soundbar, is probably somewhere, they look at Macintosh. So I think it'll be Apple should buy Macintosh. They've been sued by them enough, so that's okay. We did have a Civic with Bose.
Really?
We did. Yeah, we did have a Civic with Bose. Anything's possible. Because the Accord had Bose, so the Civic there was a high-end Civic with Bose.
The Accord had Bose?
Yes, of course.
Wow, I never had the money for the good Accord.
I was gonna say you still want a cheap-looking radio. So I mean, come on.
Hey man,
I'm cheap. Live a little.
Cheap.
Yeah, I know. That's why I pay.
Recoil.
Anyways, Recoil Audio USA revamps under Ron Trout. So the story here really is the fact that Ron Trout, who retired from JVC, Ron Trout.
Oh yeah,
Ron Trout.
Ron.
The nine-fingered wonder. Retired from JVC. Was Larry the owner of Recoil, and Cicada immediately asked Ron if he would like to come and work for his company and be in charge of Recoil and Cicada.
Yeah.
More the story is Recoil is not owned by that guy that makes poop videos on the internet and talks to people with the camera facing the other direction and often talks about Recoil.
Yeah.
It is not owned by him. He does not own. He's never owned it. He doesn't have anything to do with the company. It is owned by a guy named Larry, and he's the white guy that people think is funny who makes a lot of money. Anyways, Recoil is actually a worldwide brand, which makes products that sell all over the place, not just here in the U.S. They have a very small footprint here in the U.S. because of that. Most of it is Amazon purchases and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. A lot of people are confused who owns Recoil. So they're looking to. They actually have really high-end products overseas, according to Ron.
Okay.
In which case, they're looking to see where their product line will fit here in the U.S. So it ought to be pretty interesting to see what happens. So our good friend Marty Dean, who's been on the show before, works for the company. Is kind of our man on the street, the guy who we talk to when we want to know about Recoil, as well as Cicada, who's currently in Alaska.
Cicada?
No, Marty is in Alaska. He had because
dude, he's traveling a lot.
Well, no, he didn't want to go to Alaska.
Oh, he didn't.
But John and the crew just became a Cicada deal, and they bought a huge order, and he had to go up there and do 2 days of training. He's like, thank goodness I did not get rid of all my winter clothes.
That's awesome.
They do make some really nice fuse holders and distribution blocks. I would just be happy if they come out with a really sweet RCA that we could use. I mean, because the current one we have has been questionable at best.
Right.
And then finishing up the news, our good friend Todd Ramsey he passed away this year. Yeah, earlier this year. We were fortunate enough to be involved in his build that we did at Mobile Solutions, thanks to our good friends at Orca. So it was a Focal Moscone build in his Cadillac.
Mercedes.
Mercedes. I don't know why I say Cadillac. It's that whole Bose thing on my head still.
His
Mercedes. We had a really nice get together after it. A bunch of people showed up. It was a lot of fun. But one of the things that Todd was loved for was his bringing together of the 12-volt community. He was a teacher. He was an instructor. He was a very intelligent individual. If you had the pleasure of talking to Todd, you knew you talked to Todd. There was never an opportunity that you wouldn't know you were on the phone with him because it was usually a very long phone call. And he would hit a bunch of topics. He put a lot of people together. He was really good at bridging the gap between people that needed things and people that wanted to do things. He was also big behind education, MECP. He ran that for a while. He was an advocate of that. He was involved in SEMA, the high school builds for SEMA. That was one of his projects. He was involved in the education track at SEMA. I got to teach a class at SEMA because of Todd. So Todd was really a really unique individual and believed in giving back. So in honor of that, his wife,
Judy,
as well as Bill Jackson, formerly of Rockford Fosgate, he just retired from that, moved on to another position in the bigger company, have started a
scholarship
program for young people looking to get into the 12-volt industry. So this money is going to be delegated to teenagers to help them pay for things like MECP training, going to a Master Tech or Mobile Solutions training, go to a Knowledge Fest, go to somewhere where education is happening so that they can find jobs in the 12-volt community.
I think it's great, man.
I think it's great too because I mean, no one does this.
No. I don't think it's a scholarship that they're going to give you money to go and learn. And like this normally you go to the shop and it's like, hey man, I'm looking for something.
Well, yeah.
At least it's well,
this is the first
helping you.
This is one of the first that again, I don't really follow this, so I don't know if I'm sure when we had the school down over there, Metro School down there, Installer Institute, they had some financial aid and stuff like that. But it really wasn't designed around this, where they just, here's $1,000 or $2,000
correct
to go to a Master Tech, to
go
to
pay for these events,
to get some skill,
yeah,
so that, or go pay for your MECP.
Because keep in mind, 18, 19, do you have $2-3 grand to actually spend and some of these events? I mean, not everybody.
No, I mean, because we know there's people that are 30, 40, and 50 that don't have the money to spend at these events. So
right. So exactly.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good push for younger. Like, we need more people. We do need some younger people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we push the younger people like, oh, you don't know nothing.
Well, yeah.
I'm 30 years old.
Well, that's because you have a terrible attitude and you think basic operating system is cool.
I feel like we need new people, like you.
Like
you teaching, like when I came here for the first time, you're like, hey, listen, man, I'm not your friend. Just do what I'm telling you to do. And now you're going to
get off my lawn. Yeah.
Correct.
I never threatened to fire you.
Yes. And then, that was true. And then, dude, you start explaining me everything, every single thing, like how the relay works and things like that not everybody's willing to share. Like this is fantastic. Todd was one of those persons that wanted to share everything. So,
yeah,
I mean, I think is awesome.
Yeah,
I feel we just, as a 12-volt people, like we already, and the 12-volt, we just have to, just grab the new.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right, and I mean that was part of, it's like Master Tech, as we know, we run the 12-volt clean wire challenge. We help with the build off. We teach classes there. We do a lot on the back end side of Master Tech Expo, and of course, it's always how do we get more bodies to this event. Part of going out to Dino's Get Down was to talk to people outside of our
right.
And it was interesting because like we were running into a lot of interior guys, fab guys, not 12-volt fab guys, but fab guys that never even knew this education track existed.
Dude, that would be cool if Brian Schmidt does a class on like, for example, like let me teach you guys the basics of fabrication and not going crazy like they always do.
But I feel he already does that.
Yes, that's for already new kids, like for the new people that they just came in.
But that is Master Tech.
It feels intimidated. So no, but like 1-on-1, because I think most solutions. It's more like you got 10 people other than
but 1-on-1 doesn't exist. That's
people.
Okay. So what you're referring to is an internship, an unpaid internship. So like
3 days.
Well, no, but still, an internship is where you come to work with me or someone comes to work with you, and they work with you for a month or two, and they learn the skill. Yeah. Okay.
So for example, Eduardo, remember Eduardo?
Yes.
He never touched like the router and things like that before.
Right.
And he went there, and then after that he was expired. He was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Well, that's the whole point of going to that.
Exactly. That's for new people.
Right. But that's what this is, because this will give new people the funds to go to a mobile solutions. And learn prime example, when Haley was out there talking, an old gentleman walked up and he was talking to Haley, and Haley was like, what do you guys do here? And he's like, we have a school, and this is what we do, and here are the classes on the back of the brochure. It talked about the center console, the door panel, the hot rod, and all the classes that he offers. And the old man was just like, this is awesome. I have, 6 grandkids that have no focus whatsoever. I can send each one of my grandkids to these classes so they can learn a trade. Okay. And there again, you can't be expected to learn everything there is to know about building an interior, building a door panel in 3 days. But at least that gives you an idea of like,
it's a motivation.
Well, yeah, here's the tools you need. Here's some of the talent you have to have.
I feel every time we go to Mobile Solutions and we do, like, I don't know about them, but like, for example, when you do the projects and things like that, it's motivation. I see everything that they do, and I'm like, dude, man, this is so cool. Like,
So
that's fantastic.
So I think the newer cars having interfaces makes installs hard for kids to learn or do on their own now versus 20 years ago.
Yeah.
See, that's
It's
total,
intimidated.
but no, it's not. It's the total opposite. That's an old guy thing. See, now you're thinking old guy stuff.
No.
You are, because it's the same thing as like, oh, it's not fair for kids now because when I was a kid, I could play outside until the light came on. Kids these days can't do this. No, but when I was a kid, we didn't have Xbox. We didn't have internet. We didn't have 24-hour streaming of every possible thing under the sun. So they grew up in a different world.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we have 3D printers over there.
Yeah.
We're spending hours trying to learn through Fusion 360 and how to use laser and how to do all. These kids already know how to do that. They can literally figure this stuff out. Their brain is already wired to be thinking this stuff. Their problem-solving abilities are for today, which is today's vehicles are part of.
Time out. Like, for example, Ada says, cars are way easier now than before. Okay?
In some cases, they are.
But we have the tools. They don't.
They do, because they have all of our tools. Just like you as an installer are much farther along in your time frame that you've been installed 100%. Than I ever was, because you got to piggyback off of the knowledge that I have.
Because you give me the tools.
There again, we're getting on to two topics here, though. So what the original statement is where we have to stay, which is the kids these days. It's not harder for them because they already have a better base than when we started, because we didn't have a base. We had magazines.
Totally understand. So, I get that. But for example,
let's just end it right here. Agree with Dean on this one.
Yeah.
I gotta be there. Because we got a call today. That's it for the news, guys. This is one of those things where, hey, you know what? There's a comment section. Let us know how you feel. Do you think it's easier for kids to start in this? Do kids even want? I honestly think that the bigger problem is kids just don't want to work. Why would I want to work when I can sit at home and do this all day? Hey, Mom, could you make me a Hot Pocket, bro?
Or create a YouTube.
Or create a YouTube channel. But anyways, that's what they got. Let us know what you think. Agree with whoever you like. It's okay. That's the great thing about it is we can go on. We have work to do today. We're going to go do it. We'll kill each other later. We'll beat each other up and be like, believe what I want you to believe.
Never.
No, of course not.
I don't believe nothing. Believe in myself.
He doesn't even do that. All right, guys. You have a wonderful day. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. We will take all your car stereo questions and answer them to the best of our abilities. And yes,
see you guys later.
A new kicker amp, so tune in later today on Instagram, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to show it. If not, we'll show it to you tomorrow.
No, we have to.
I'm going to try. That's all I can bet. See ya.
Bye, guys.